I do want to say here, with about 5 minutes to go, Amazon's fourth quarter earnings is coming out. There's a lot of eyes on this one. So analysts are calling for earnings of $1.97 per share, revenue $211.33 billion. Wall Street is going to have a very close eye on revenue growth for Amazon Web Services. They always focus on AWS. That is the cloud business of Amazon. I want to bring in Palumbo Wealth Management CEO and CIO, Phil Palumbo. So let's talk about this, because Amazon Web Services has been such a strong component of their earnings year after year, but they also, on the other hand, are probably going to talk about tariff pressure.
Yeah, so tariff pressure, I think, is actually going to fall to the wayside this year. So last year, Amazon was up only 6%, S&P was up 18%. And this year, going into this year, we favor Amazon because we think tariffs fall by the wayside, which will help the e-commerce business. And the big focus with their earnings is going to be their AWS, like you said. We're looking for 21% or more. That's important in terms of growth. And then the ad spending is going to also be really important. And of course, CapEx is the biggest focal point of every earnings that we're seeing today.
Is that a worry about Amazon? Because they've got a little heat from that, for a lack of CapEx spending. Are they going to try and catch up? And is that going to worry the street?
They all have to stay in the race together. So I believe their numbers are going to be just as aggressive as we saw with Google, which they're doubling their CapEx. We saw it with Meta. So we're going to see same thing with Amazon. They have to spend to stay in the race. That's really, really important.
Okay. What are the things? You've got positive and negatives in your research. I want to start with the positive. You say AI integration boosts output per worker. That historically correlates with long-term GDP growth. Companies are pledging to invest in the United States. And we're seeing that under the Trump administration. But a negative for you is the jobs picture. And that really set the market off on a bad foot this morning.
Right.
So how do you balance those two things?
So it's going to be tough in the beginning. Just like any other major revolution I've ever seen in this country, you always have old jobs fall by the wayside, new jobs come to fruition. For example, the phone that we all use, there are apps in there that we use, and that created an entire multi-billion-dollar economy. So with AI, we're going to see that. We're going to see jobs fall to the wayside, but we're going to see new jobs that are going to develop.
I was looking at some data, though, from Microsoft. It was published on Axios, and if you looked at the jobs that were going to be lost under AI and the AI economy, it was all white-collar jobs, and things like authors, writers, marketing people. But then on the other side of those jobs created, it was all manufacturing, blue-collar jobs. Is that kind of what you predict is going to happen?
100%. And I think those white-collar jobs, those that will be lost, I think they'll have the opportunity to be entrepreneurial. And I think you'll see one of the biggest entrepreneurial moves you've ever seen in this country. And I think you'll actually see more multi-millionaires in this country has ever seen going forward, because AI allows you to put into AI what you're looking to do in terms of establishing a business, build conviction, and execute. And that's what I think we're going to see longer term, which I think a lot of people are missing. Yeah,
well, obviously, that is the juxtaposition that you're making between jobs and the AI economy. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, good to see you.